The waiting. Focus for April 11, 2020. Waiting gives rise to impatience. Have we experienced it? Waiting gives rise to wonder. Have we spent such time speculating over reasons we might have been kept in waiting? Waiting gives rise to inaccurate assumptions. Have we given up hope in the happening anticipated? Things get off schedule for many reasons, and there are times we fall victim to others' lack of follow-through. However, in spite of our struggles in understanding the mind of God and His timing, let us be assured our waiting on Him and His will shall be worth it. He will fulfill His plans regardless of what might occur in this realm. Jesus died. His body was removed from the cross and placed in a tomb. Because of the Sabbath, there was waiting to take place, Luke 23, verses 54 to 56, with the plan to complete burial provisions on the first day of the week. That waiting gave time for questioning and wondering with regard to the hopes which had arisen in connection with the Lord's claims, signs, and teaching. That wondering continued especially after finding and hearing of the empty tomb, Luke 24, verses 1 through 12. In the conversation with the two on the road to Emmaus, referred to in Luke 24, verse 13, we read in verse 21, "But we had hoped that He was the one to redeem Israel. Yes, and besides all this, it is now the third day since these things happened." Sometimes waiting and wonder for just a few minutes can seem like an eternity. Here it was the third day, and their wonder had been fed by many things. We had hoped, but He had been condemned and crucified, verse 20. We had hoped, but now it was the third day. We had hoped, but now the body was gone, verses 23 to 24. Was their hope gone as well? What were they to make of the report they heard that He was alive? Verse 23. For these two, their waiting would last just a little longer, verses 30 to 31. And then the scriptures shared by the Lord, verses 25 to 27, would come to light, verse 32. And they would become messengers of the good news, verses 33 to 35. Waiting. Sometimes it is what we are called to do. However, let us not allow the passing of time to bring God's ability to fulfill His divine purposes, an example, Proverbs 19 to verse 21, into question. As the writer of Hebrews encouraged, Hebrews chapter 7, verses 23 to 25, the former priests were many in number because they were prevented by death from continuing in office. But He holds His priesthood permanently because He continues forever. Consequently, He is able to save to the uttermost those who draw near to God through Him, since He always lives to make intercession for them. The cross was not the end. Hope was not lost. Our Lord ever lives, and in addition to the provision of His blood to cleanse and redeem us, His resurrection also is there to assure us of ours. He also continues presently to intercede on our behalf. In spite of what else may go on around us, may our trust remain centered in Him through all of our days. Have a great day, knowing hope is not lost.